Alright, here we go. Lumophile just started, though it looks like Bluepen's a bit slow there. It's like, you gonna start there, Bluepen? Do it. Lumophile's got like a 15-second head start on you. But it's all good. Now he started. Yep, definitely Lumophile's already in the lead. Not much to see with these first two worlds here. They're all going to be utilizing the warp barrels to just skip every single one. Shame there's no warp barrels for the bosses, though. Not that either one of the bosses are necessarily difficult to beat. Although, oh, look at that! Lumophile's letting Bluepen catch up. That's nice of him. And who said chivalry was dead? You know, despite the fact that we do have the warp barrels here, I'm rather curious to know what these kind of any percent races would be like if they couldn't use the warp barrels. We got a water balance for Bluepen there, and Lumophile following right up afterwards. These two aren't too far behind each other. Yes, hello fellow gamers to this most game-tastic of races. World 3 and 4, definitely. 4's definitely kind of interesting because it's got all the mechanical levels to it. And also the auto-scroller with the giant saw blade. But then we get to level 3 and it's got all the underwater levels. Well, we got Bluepen and Lumophile both here at Belcha, so let's see if they've can get a 2-cycle here. Looks good for Bluepen. Yeah, he's got this in the bag. What about Lumophile? Can he get the 2-cycle? Yes, looks like it. You know, as much as I have played Donkey Kong Country 3, I'm terrible when it comes to remembering level names. Like this one, the one with the monkeys throwing the acorns. Who would have thought monkeys could be evil? Or at least these monkeys. You'd think they'd help you, but no, they're just throwing acorns at you and being little rude monkeys. Honestly, who doesn't love Winky? Winky's a good frog. And he gives you that extra jump. Oh no! Bluepen almost missed the toss there. That was a bit dicey there for Bluepen. Even if you get the rolling speed from the rats there, those bees can catch up very quickly. And honestly, if your dad got beat up by a frog, then well, I won't go further on that. I just got one more level here in level 2, and then it's on to fight... Honestly, I can never pronounce his name right. A Rich? Eric? Eric? Just big spider guy. Now, either one of these runners can play it safe and just kind of wait out some of these waves, but more often than not, they're just gonna try to get the quick kills as fast as possible. Yeah, Bluepen got that fight down pat. He was going fast there, man. Lumophile on the other hand, missed the throw there. Oh dear. He not only broke the barrel, he had to wait that phase out. Just got one more. Oh no, he missed that one. But he took a damage boost to get all the way up there. Not quite what he had planned, but it works. Starting off with Fireball Frenzy. Pretty straightforward level, but gotta be careful of those pesky owls. It's not too much tech used for this level, aside from just a few time-saving tricks. Like right here, I think he'll utilize a team throw. Nope, just a roll. I do know there's a damage boost like you can use in this level to really save some time, like a good 20 seconds, I should say, in terms of finishing this level. Man, Bluepen's just making this look easy. Yeah, right on this edge here. He's gotta wait for the next attack, get hit, and he got up to the next rope. Easy peasy. Of course, he still had to be careful there on the last part there, but nothing he couldn't handle. Now on his way to the demolition drain pipe. Another pretty straightforward level, just can't make any mistakes here. I think for the most part he is going to stick to the ground, because I believe it's faster not to use any of the railing. Let's switch over to Bluepen since he's ahead right now. Man, it wasn't even gonna go for Kitty there. I suppose every second helps, so if they can go through a level without the extra hit there, it's perfectly fine. And he's done. We're heading on to Ripsaw Rage, aka the not quite as boring auto-scroller level. Don't know why the screen kind of paused there for a second. It certainly didn't get hit. Avoid hitting any of the rats here, you'll save like a few frames or so, because while you can't really see it when you hit the rats, you do lose like 1 to 2 frames or so. So it actually pays off to save the animals here in this level. But of course, if they do hit any of the rats, it's no like huge time loss. I've always wondered what the heck either of the, like, Kongs had to do to get themselves into this sort of situation. Like, did they just decide, hey, let's climb a tree? Oh no, there's a big sawing machine sawing its way up. We need to hurry. Either way, there's not too much more to this that they have to get through here. At least for Bluepen. I think Lumophile's at the halfway point. Or already past it. Bluepen, meanwhile, is at the end here. With a bit of memorization on the level, he can easily get to the flag there and get a quick finish. So he can mosey on over to the Blazing Bazookas. Now what you saw there from Bluepen is a rather tricky maneuver to pull off. Ordinarily, if you were to roll or spin into those Champas, they would just bite you and you'd take damage. But on the last frame that you would get hit, if you were to turn around and spin... No, actually, like, right before you get hit, you turn around and then spin towards them. It, for some reason, acts as if, like, you actually hit them. And I believe this is only possible on the Japanese version of the Donkey Kong Country 3 cart. And this level isn't too hard. Some of the later levels, though, definitely. It's all just a matter of keeping pace with the cycles of the level. Now this level, on the other hand, the Low G Labyrinth, this can be a bit tricky for some players. Not many runners can fully take advantage of the low gravity aspects of this level, but it just takes practice. I would say this whole game's impossible. Definitely not. I think one rather interesting strat here when you're Squawks is that on some parts where it has the bees here, if they're kind of blocking the path, you can actually hug against the wall and you can just go right past them. I've always been rather curious what it'd be like to speedrun, like, not necessarily this game, but definitely the second game. Because I know there's some pretty hard levels in Donkey Kong Country 2. Got Bluepen here fighting Chaos. Yeah, if I had to rate the trilogy, I'd say the order goes 2, 3, then 1. In order of, like, best to worst. Oh, was that a double hit from Bluepen? No, that was just a single hit. That's interesting. It looks like Bluepen's utilizing some weird hitbox jumping here to get on top of Chaos. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of levels in Donkey Kong Country 1 that I find very aesthetically pleasing. The forest levels in particular, I really like. See, Bluepen got the third and final hit on Chaos, and they're done. I could definitely say I've full cleared all 3 games, and Donkey Kong Country 3 especially I like to full clear a lot. It was a very fast fight, that's what it was. Bluepen, meanwhile, has made his way to World 3 at Boz's Blockade. This one isn't a too hard level, but you have to keep a consistent pace so that you can stay in line with the way the Barracudas spawn here. Again, going back to what I mentioned about cycles with a lot of these levels. Yeah, there was always a weird boss with Donkey Kong Country 1 just being like, hey, it's a giant barrel and it just spawns out enemies. Have fun with this gauntlet and don't get hit. Wasn't necessarily a boss so much as an endurance run. Meanwhile, Lumophile just finished his fight with Chaos and is going to be making his way to level 3. Or not level 3, World 3. Bluepen, meanwhile, has made his way to Rocket Barrel Ride. All the water level games in this were, the waterfall levels in this game were just weird. Like there's this one with the rocket barrels, there's the one later on here that's going to have the barrels floating downward. And also the other one that's like, you can move the barrel from left to right. We're gonna see a few damage boosts from Bluepen here, just to save a lot of time on getting past these rocket barrels. Yeah, you're saying like Winky is the best part in that game, but what about Espresso? You can go super fast with Espresso. And you could also glide. That's true. I guess that's true in that regard. Level. A rather enjoyable level to watch any racer just blast through, because the horizontal speed for either one of the Kongs is just super fast. Though I think between the Kongs, Kitty actually goes faster on these ropes, or actually I don't think there's a difference between them. But I know Dixie can like just ascend so quickly on the ropes. So she's ideal for the later levels. Or the later mountain levels. After building up enough speed with that spin attack into the Sproing guys, Bluepen can essentially skip the rope and just swim right to the exit. So he can make his way to Tracker Barrel Trek. This one I mentioned having the... Actually, no, this is the one with the movable barrel. I always think this one had the barrels going down the waterfall. I wonder how weird it would be if someone made like a hack of this game to where every level you would have to play as an animal bunny, and like each of the levels would be modified in such that you could play as that animal buddy. Though, as we saw a little bit there with Bluepen, he utilized a damage boost to, once again, and also right here utilizing another damage boost to just blaze through this level. I'm sure somebody somewhere is going to make a hack of this game to where you can play every level as Winky. I don't know how you'd play the underwater levels as Winky, but I'm sure it's possible. Now, with this level being the Fish Food Frenzy, the whole shtick to this is, so long as you stick to one particular path and just stay at a consistent speed, you don't have to worry about feeding the fish here. Though you still need to be careful that you don't get too close to the clams. Yes, Squawks is pretty OP. He just flies over everything and can spit eggs. He's essentially easy mode. And that's somewhat the case for Squitter, but he's not as easy to just kind of go past everything. Oh, Bluepen was kind of close there with the fish, but he made it. I don't remember what that, like, alternate Squawks bird was named. Actually, let me see if they do have a name for him. Okay, like, the other Squawks bird is just named Quawks. So just without the S. Yeah, Quawks. And here we have a very snoozeworthy fight here with, I think, Squitter? No, not Squitter. Just Squirt. Cosmic brain naming right there. Yeah, I agree. I could never understand if this particular boss was just like embedded in the wall or if it was just like kind of sticking out of a hole or something. Either way, that's the 4th boss down for Bluepen, and it's now on to World 5 and 6. World 5, of course, being K3. Now this level you'll see either of these runners just like blaze right through here with Dixie. I don't know particularly why she's able to go through the ropes as quick as she can, but she's just really fast. You know, Lumophile's on the fight with Squirt. I think he's on phase 2. Ooh, nice helicopter back down. So that was the Crevice Creepers, and now on to the Tearaway Toboggan. Disney Tarzan? Like, are you referring to the, like the movie or like the game Disney Tarzan? The movie, gotcha. Bluepen took a hit, but it's okay, he got Dixie back. This is almost at the end here. Lumophile, meanwhile, making his way through the... I already missed the name of it. But that level. Bluepen is now on the barrel drop bounce. Now this is the one I was thinking of before. I gotta jump on the barrels. This level in particular was always weird for me because these barrels have like weird hitboxes to them. Sometimes you can land on them just fine, and then other times it's just like, no, you're too much like to the left or right of it. We'll see Bluepen utilizing some team throws here just to bypass having to jump at these barrels too much. Oh, but he fell down a bit. Lumophile, meanwhile, just got finished with the second level and is quickly catching up. Lumophile's on Tearaway Toboggan right now. And Bluepen, meanwhile, would just finish the barrel drop bounce and is on to Crackshot Croc. Now, there is one difference between Squidder in this game as opposed to Donkey Kong Country 2. I believe in Donkey Kong Country 2 when it came to laying out the webs, so long as you just hit L and R simultaneously when you shoot out the webs, they can deploy practically instantly. In this game, however, you need to press L just like 1 to 2 frames before R, and then it'll instantly deploy. I believe that's how it works. Well, I mean, it is pretty tricky, because you're trying to navigate through all of this while a sniper is just trying to shoot you. But then again, you're playing as a spider who can make platforms and just shoot any enemies in front of him. It was quick work for Bluepen. And this next level is Lemguin Lunge. The level with the evil penguins. Or Lemguins, as they're just called in this one. I believe like Donkey Kong Country 2 didn't have any snow levels, it was more just like ice levels. And there weren't too many of those. Yeah, ice caves. Of course, now we got Bluepen coming up to fight Bleak. But he's not actually going to fight him so much as utilize a glitch that's only possible in the Japanese version, in that if he pauses just right during the fade out, he can essentially just skip the fight. But this is very tight timing here. I'd say he has like about 4 to 5 tries on this. Oh, he got it. There he goes. Usually you'd probably do this trick maybe 4 or 5 times before it takes as long as it would just to do it normally. By the way, Bluepen's now in Razor Ridge inside Buzzer Barrage. This is a pretty straightforward level, given that you're totally not Squawks here. You can go pretty fast as him, but you can't spit anything. And so long as Bluepen's hugging some of the walls here, he can essentially just go right past enemies. I don't believe there's much of any sort of tracking to do with an 80% run, it's just them going from start to finish. Now, if this was a 100% run, on the other hand, I would believe there would be tracking for this race. So I know not a lot of people like this game probably as much as Donkey Kong Country 2, but are there any particular levels you all enjoy in this game? Oh wow, Bluepen didn't even stop for the helicopter guy, he just bounced on his head. "5-1" was the first level on K3, which was the Crevice Creepers. It had all the ropes. Yeah, Belch was a pretty fun fight. Although, but Bluepen's on the most boring auto-scroller here. Ugh, this level is so long. Why does it have to go on, like, forever like this? Meanwhile, Lumophile just got the skip. I believe he got it on 2 tries as well, so neither one has done better than the other. Yeah, some of the later levels are particularly, like, just hair-pullingly hard. Especially on the last level. Not the secret level, but... or, not secret world, but the last world. Because that one's got the pipe level that has the reverse controls, and it's also got the level with the lightning. Freaking lightning. The theme of this level is just climb a rope, don't get burned. That's basically it. I wouldn't say the rocket barrel was relatively stupid, just you had to have some pretty tight reflexes to get through that one. Oh, the music. I don't know what the themes for this level is called. Honestly, I'd have to look somewhere to see what it was. Lumophile's almost at the same auto-scroller as Bluepen is, but he's still gonna be behind here, because it's not like he can go any faster on this level. Meanwhile, Bluepen just finished it. And is on his way to Floodlit Fish. As far as this level is concerned, you don't need to light the fish here. In fact, I think it's faster if you don't. It's just a matter of practicing the whole route through this level. I'd say you'd probably lose a lot of time if you were to die on this level. Like, provided, if you were to die, like, say, right past the checkpoint, you wouldn't lose too much time. But it's generally not a good idea to die on auto-scroller levels. But if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere between, like, 20, maybe 30 seconds of time loss. Probably not as much. Yeah, it's a tad hard to see what's going on Bluepen's screen here. And again, he's trying to make full use of not using the lightfish to see where he's going, just so he can save time. We're done with that level, now on to Pothole Panic. Or as I like to call this level, the Animal Buddy level. Because I think it's got almost every Animal Buddy in here. Man, On Guard just makes underwater levels so easy. Not only is he fast, he's got the attack too. And then there's Ellie just being an elephant, and all they can really do is just pick up barrels from a distance and spit out water. And as we saw there from Bluepen, he utilized a water bounce using Kitty so he can, like, get up there without having to do some fancy team throw to get up there. I'm done with Pothole Panic, and now on to Rumpy Rumpus. We'll be seeing quite a number of damage boosts on this one. And I'm sorry if I pronounce it Kitty as Kitty. I have a hard time distinguishing between the T's and the D's. Kiddy Kong. There we go. Eduardo. A very quick level for Bluepen there, jeez. That one done though, he is on to fight Barbos. Stay straightforward for the first part here, he just needs to do the intended strat. Bop him and on to phase 2. This one though, he's gonna be using something a little bit different and slightly risky. There's just enough of a gap for you to slip through Barbos there and be able to use the squids to hit the clams much faster than you're supposed to. And as for this part here, so long as he's hugging the ceiling, he can just hit Barbos as many times as he wants. And also utilizing some damage boosting there, he's able to grab the last coin there before it fully spits out. That's pretty funny. On guard with a sombrero would be great. Eduardo. But here we are at World 7 here, Pacifica. Or actually, I think it's called Chaos Core. Yeah. Chaos Core. And first level here is Conveyor Rope Clash. Very fast to go through. I think for this entire level, Bluepen's not even going to waste, or rather bother, trying to get Kiddy Kong, and just go straight for the finish. My name is Eduardo, and I am a very fast fish. Now we're here at Creepy Caverns, with all the ghost barrels here. This one's pretty tricky to do very quickly here, since all of these barrels are on a cycle of their own. If you don't time it just right on a few of these, you can end up in some pretty bad spots. AKA getting hit into a stinger, or a zinger, I should say. This was always a rather annoying level for me, just because it was always hard for me to time, like, when to go past the barrels and when to actually go into them. And again, if you're using Dixie Kong, you can easily just time some of the ones that are below you. And Bluepen utilizing a few pause buffer there's just to get into the right spot for that last one there. Oh. Well, I mean, they're both bees, so I guess it doesn't matter if they're like zingers or buzzes. They're still bees. And here we are in Lightning Lookout, aka mine, probably several people's least favorite level in this whole game. Bluepen's probably gonna make this look easy, but it's not. Avoiding that lightning is about as easy as trying to wrestle a gorilla. Oh no, yeah, this level is definitely some straight up bull honky. And yet, despite this, Bluepen's gonna be utilizing damage boosts to just get through a lot of this. But he still needs to be careful here. Wow, man, he blazed through that. We've got 2 more levels here. This next one is Coin Dozer Clamber. It's another tricky level since these guys will just charge at you the second you're on the same level with them. Also have to be careful if you're standing on top of them, because if you're too much to the left or right, they're just gonna bonk you right off. Well, so far so good. Lumophile, meanwhile, is on the Creepy Caverns. Bluepen's almost done here. Yep, there he is. Done with that level, and on to the second to last level, being the Poisonous Pipeline. I know, he's been just on the ball with all of these levels. And yet, despite having reverse controls for this level, so long as you're kind of hugging the ceiling there is on guard and use the dash to get through it, it's pretty easy. Though you still have to get through the rest of this with reverse controls. I think at this point, sub 47 would be kind of pushing it. but I think it'd be possible. Man, if he gets sub 47, that'd be impressive. He's waiting for the boss to get to the next stage, team throw across, so they can be on the same side as the next barrel. Oh no, Lumophile died on lightning lookout. Oh. But it's okay, I don't blame you, Lumophile. That level is bull honky. And like despite how fast Bluepen has been going, Lumophile hasn't been that far behind. Like he's still pretty close to Bluepen here. He's only like what, 1, maybe 2 levels behind. And Bluepen's making sure that he is right on these levers when they're about to activate so he can just get to the next barrel as quick as possible. Then comes phase 2. This one's a little trickier. Oh man, that was an impressive trick right there. I don't know if I'd have the kind of timing for that skill, or for that particular trick. Lumophile almost at the end here. Come on, you can do it, man. You're almost there. No! Honestly, Lightning Lookout is pretty dang hard to speedrun. Well, sadly, no sub 47 for Bluepen, but still, sub 48, that is an amazing time. Bluepen finishes with a time of 47 minutes and 40 seconds. GG Bluepen. See if we can get him in for a little interview. Thankfully, Lumophile just got past Lightning Lookout. Arguably the hardest of these last 3 here. Let's see how he fares the Coin Dozer Clamber level here. Oh no! Oh. Kinda missed it there. Did he fall off or did he get bonked off? You got this, Lumophile. I think one of the previous races I commented on, there was one racer that had like an hour and 3 minutes for the 70%. So I mean, all things considered, at the rate Lumophile's going, even with these deaths, this is still, you know, really good time. What do you mean there's some tilt going on? Is there, like, problem with controls or something? Well, either way, he got through, so he's good. Now on to reverse controls level. Or rather, the poisonous pipeline. What kind of poison is even in this level for them to have, like, backwards movement? He's on the midway point, so far so good. I think he's got the rest of this level in the bag. Just gotta be quick. So any guesses here? Do you think he can make a sub 54 on this? Maybe sub 55? So no sub 54 then. Well, still, sub 55, that's pretty good. That's Chaos down, now on to K. Rool himself. Or is I think he's called K. Roolenstein in this one. I always do find it interesting that you can essentially face the opposite direction with Dixie Kong and still get the hit. Almost got this. So yeah, sadly no sub 40 or 54 here, but he's definitely gonna get sub 55. Just one more hit here. And Lumophile finishes with a SRL time of 54:41. GG Lumophile. Very great race from both of these runners. I haven't got much of a response from Bluepen if he wants to do a post-race interview, but let's see if Lumophile wants to mosey on in here. Hey, welcome Lumophile and GG.
Hey man, thanks. Thanks for commentating as well. It's been
it was
pretty hard to get commentators lately, so it's always appreciated.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun race to see between you two. I did like, you did get a bit of a head start at the beginning there, but it was nice seeing you, like, pause there to let Bluepen catch up. You kind of started late.
I think it's a connection issue, just the restream, because of, I think Bluepen doesn't use the reduced delay, so the restream caught him starting later, but I think we started at the same time.
Ah, I gotcha. So, what were your thoughts on this race, aside from Lightning Lookout giving you a bit of hard time there?
Yeah, I had a little trouble on Eric early on, and that put me behind. Other than that, Worlds 3, 4, and 5 were all on pace with my PB, and I got second try bleak skip, which was actually really good for me. That's pretty uncommon.
Bluepen got second try in Snowman skip too.
Oh, nice. I saw he was out of there really, really quickly. I kept glancing at the restream out of the corner of my eye. Didn't see how many attempts, but it makes sense that he got second because he was out of there in a hurry. So yeah, I was only 22 seconds behind PB after second try bleak skip, and my PB has first, so that's pretty good. And then I golded World 6, and I was only 10 seconds behind PB, so I was not on PB pace, but I had PB possible. And so it just naturally makes sense that Lightning Lookout would happen. And then after the first death, I was just kind of just mentally checked out. I was like, all right, well, race is over, and PB is not possible anymore. So, and then to further like compound on that, after I died, I tried doing the first section after halfway with Kitty. I should have swapped right away, like as soon as I got Dixie back, because normally I am Dixie in that section, and then Kitty in the next section. I should take the next damage boost, and so naturally all my movement was off, and everything was wrong, and I died again right away, and then just escalated from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much just mentally checked out after the first death in Lightning there, and then it all just went downhill. And then
even still, like 54-41 is still a really good time.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, considering that I started this tournament with a time just under 1 hour and 2 minutes. So pretty happy with how far I've come. And then even after I got out of Lightning Lookout, I screwed up a little bit of movement in Coin Dozer, and I missed the halfway, and I was like, well, you know what? I never die in this stage. I never have trouble in this stage, so I won't go back and get it. So then naturally, I died, of course, and then it just kept escalating. I actually had a really good creepy caverns in that World 7, so if Lightning Lookout and Coin Dozer went better, that actually might have been a PB. But this was kind of like my retirement race, because this is the last one that I had to do for the tournament, and I don't really have a whole lot of desire to grind out this category, so
that's understandable.
Yeah. I got a time that was vastly faster than what I ever thought I was going to get. I loosely set a goal for myself of sub 55 at the start of the tournament. I actually started with sub hour. I didn't know what was going to happen, and then my first run I got a 57, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll get like, I don't know, 55 or something. And then I ended up with a 5104, which is much better than I ever expected, so I really have no plans on grinding this out anymore. So this is the last tournament match that I do for group stages, and I lost to Bluepen, Blueberry, Dume, and Beto, so I'm gonna get knocked out. So this is really at the end for me, and naturally just makes sense that Lightning Lookout had to give me one last hard time.
It gives everyone a hard time. That's just such an annoying level.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, I'm happy with everything that's happened, and good luck to Bluepen going on. He's a pretty good chance, honestly, of winning the whole thing, actually. So I'm looking forward to those races.
And of course, we've still got the first place runner with the SRL times, or not the speed running time. I forget his name.
Sui Mind.
Yes, Sui Mind. He's had some pretty amazing races, and one particular one with like between him and I think Tonkutsu.
Yep, exactly.
Like they had a really tight race.
Yeah, it was like a matter of frames between the two of them, which was incredible to see. But yeah, Sui and Bluepen, I think, are still the only runners with 46s. There may have been someone else that got one recently, but it's not on the leaderboard yet. So yeah, they are far and away probably the favorites. Of course, this is, the any percent Blake skip tournament, so anything can happen depending on how well you press start. But I expect them to do well.
Oh yeah, definitely. But all in all, thanks for racing, man.
Yeah, and thank you for commentating again, and thanks for Speed Game putting this on, and thanks everyone in chat for hanging out, and thanks for all the GGs, guys.
Be sure to give both of these runners a follow here. They did a fantastic job race tonight. You don't have to follow me particularly, but hey, if you want to, I ain't holding anything against you. But, I've been Pants Nick, and thanks y'all for watching this race tonight, so I'll see y'all later.
Rolling out.